ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life. Get busy living, or get busy dying.
Gang first, last. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Welcome to Brews and Reviews with Mick and Pat. I'm Mick.
And I'm Pat.
And each week we sit down with you degenerates to pretend we're certified cicerones and cinephiles.
That is right. So grab a cold one and join us as we review Flying Ember's Orange Passion Mimosa Hard Kombucha and give our thoughts on episode 4 of the HBO Max series, The Last of Us.
If you've been with us before, you know what time it is.
Release the Kraken!
Another good opening of a can.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Maybe. I don't know yet.
Okay. All right. So Flying Embers, Hard Kombucha. This is the Orange Passion Mimosa with a hint of guava. And first immediate brain caveman gut instinct is I'm drinking emergency or chewing a giant vitamin C tablet.
Or, yeah, that, like, and having, like, children's Motrin. A little bit.
It's been years since I've had children's Motrin, so. I'll be honest. It's like what I wish a vitamin C tablet tasted like when I chewed it.
Mm-hmm. It's
I'm gonna give it a swish. Like
yeah.
I'm gonna swish the can around a little bit, see if there's anything in the bottom.
Yeah, we didn't dump this one upside down like the last.
Well, the can doesn't say to tip it.
I know
upside
it doesn't
down.
instruct it to. I even Googled it and I couldn't find anything on it. This brewery is called Flying Embers, and once again we're reviewing a hard kombucha as we have been for the last few weeks. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, 6.9% alcohol by volume. It's got a bright orange can here. I like it. It's I like the bird.
Yeah.
I feel like, is the bird supposed to be like hops on the tail?
I think it's supposed to be a phoenix.
A phoenix.
Yeah.
That just might play into their origin story.
Oh, well, before we go down that cliche, I just want to clarify something I forgot to mention last week. I have been picking these these kombuchas, to be somewhat thematic with the episodes. Now, first off, it was just getting a hard kombucha because kombucha, big fungus thing, right? It's the result of a fermenting fungus, but like an actual mushroom in a vat of liquid. And The Last of Us is all about an apocalypse brought on by the fungus, cordyceps. And so with that, though, last week you talked about episode 3 of The Last of Us. Spoiler alert, ends with them drinking wine that is filled with painkillers, essentially, to kill themselves. And what was last week's kombucha? June Shine Midnight Painkiller. So, theme there. And The Last of Us. Who are the people trying to help Ellie out, Pat?
The flamers. The fireflies.
The fireflies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and this is the Flying Embers, fireflies. You know, it's alluded. Guys, we try to do our best here, okay? I don't control the marketing or branding of alcohol. I just try to go out and really find something that we haven't had before, sometimes not from around us where we live, and in theme with whatever we're reviewing. So, you know what? Sue me. If you can do better, then help a man out. But anyways, just want to give that little note of like the subtle theme of why we're picking some of the beverages we'd pick.
This is true. So on the can, they didn't write a whole lot on here compared to some of the other cans we've reading. Been like reading a book, but they've got live cultures, USDA organic, gluten free, adaptogens, What's an adaptogen? I have no idea. Not Craig. Craig, look up adaptogen. We need to know. It's got non-GMO, vegan, and keto. So it covers all your bases for the South bitch diet. They're out of Ojai, California. I think that's how you say that. And when looking up this company, first of all, I found their reviews online, and I had to read them because I thought this was great.
Again, the company is Flying Embers. That's the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure people know that's not just the name of the beverage.
Right. Yep.
That is actually the people who brew this.
Yeah. The beverage is the Orange Passion Mimosa. And so we don't, this is a general review. So here we go. 1 star 2 months ago. This stuff quite literally smells like a diesel engine. It smells like a can of chemical farts. I would never recommend anyone drink this brand. I opened a can and it stunk up my whole house. Nasty, nasty, all caps. And then 3 months ago, Jordan Hazard, 1 star. My God, this is disgusting. I don't think I've ever reviewed something online. I tried this and oh my God, it is perhaps the most disgusting thing I've ever consumed. I hate it so much. Do not consume. I repeat, do not consume. Gross.
And no mention of the flavor? Which one?
We don't know which one. So that's the problem is now like this one we're drinking does not line up with these reviews.
No.
But we need to find which one these people were drinking.
I mean, there were several options at the store. I'm happy I picked this one.
Yeah, no kidding. Because I want to know, like, was this like an original iteration of just like, I don't know what they did. But anyways, I found those reviews enjoyable to read. And that they only have 3 reviews on the whole company, and 2 of them are those 1 stars. So
wow.
If you guys like this one, go out there and review them online because they're hurting right now.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, maybe don't if you get the wrong can because it'll just destroy them even more. But I'll tell you this. I just smelled this after that guy's one review.
Mm-hmm.
This smells to me like the orange cans of sugar-free Monster. Same smell. Same smell as the citrus sugar-free Monster. Kind of tastes like it, but I guess if there was a little bit of a bitterness from alcohol added to Monster.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean? Like it's, when I think about it,
if
and
you
I
poured
changed
this in an orange Monster can and gave it to some bro, he'd have no idea.
No, you have no idea. You'd be like, stale Monster.
Yeah.
But like now that I'm thinking about it from the mindset of like energy drinks and stuff like that I've tasted, this would be a great energy drink. Like I would drink this and be told this is a Celsius, honest. I bet there's a Celsius flavor that tastes like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of has that general orange taste. You know,
vitamin C taste.
Vitamin C taste in there. So not sure what's going on there, but so Flying Embers, their website doesn't say how long they've been around, but in 2017 there was forest fires threatening their existence of the company they were building.
Sorry.
And so a single flying ember could have been the end. But for them, it was just the beginning.
Oh, that was a phoenix?
Yeah, it's a phoenix.
Okay.
And so...
Make sure that's not like maxing out the levels when we got to edit this.
Let me hear your best phoenix in there. That sounded like a balloon when you squeeze it to make the little fart.
I'll show you a little balloon squeezy.
Yeah. So I guess, like a phoenix, they did rise from the embers around them, and they named it, their Flying Embers. One thing I do like about this company, they give 1% of their profits away, and they give it to first responders.
Oh, wow.
I think that's dope.
I thought you were going to say they give it to the earth. They literally dig a hole and put 1% of their money in it.
Yep. Like an old prepper in a coffee can.
Yeah.
No, they give 1% away to first responders. I think that's cool.
That's badass.
I think that...
Especially like out of a company from California.
Yep. I like it. They've got they also have a nonprofit that they... it's called like the Ember Foundation, where they I guess, run that stuff through, and they have programs for helping ecosystems, wildfire stuff, first responders, and then recovery programs that concentrate on long-term wellness of our first responders on a national scale, recognizing mental health implications of their work. So I think they're doing some pretty cool stuff over there with their charitable giving. I like that. But have we given it the swish test yet?
No. All right. Take
Walk
a
us
good
through
mouthful, folks. This is how it works. You got to aerate it. And one of the best ways to do that is push it through your teeth. Okay? Take a swig. Yeah, switch it from one side to the other, and then just let that teeth go flat against. Sorry, let your tongue go flat against the back of your teeth.
My problem is the gap in between my two front teeth is so large that I don't get a lot of aeration. It just kind of
oh my god, are those my keys?
It just passes straight through there. So
we could literally just like take some like a roll of dimes, put it there, and then just stucco over it. Just kidding. I didn't even know you had a gap between your front teeth till you said that.
I know they were. It was in my developing years. It was quite the gap.
Yeah,
little Michael Strahan-y.
You got some you got some chompers in the front of your mouth,
some fat chiclets
that would give some of the more. What are those type of mammals that eat roots?
Omnivores?
No, they're literally called like ruminators or ruminors or something like that.
I give them a run for it,
bro. Dude, yeah, like the mole rats and the rabbits, you'd give a run, bro.
Oh man,
here's the thing:
it's a little horse girly.
Pat, you don't have like you do have a long face, but you don't have a long face when I think of you in my head, And the thing is like it's very proportioned. So like I don't think people look at you and think like, man, that guy's got long teeth. But then when I see like the can next to your teeth, and your top teeth are about half the length of this can. I'm being so fucking mean right now. I'm so sorry.
It's hilarious.
No, dude. Dude, let's be honest, Pat. Handsome stud, bro.
I grew into my teeth a little.
If I was a Bill, you'd be my Frank. What?
Oh my goodness. Yowzers. It's getting hot in here.
Anyways. Hey, what? Hold on. Craig, don't you ever fucking talk to me like that again. You only speak when you're spoken to. I don't give a who your mom is. Okay, so coming from Craig, adaptogens. Adaptogens, this is the definition he just airdropped on me, are plants and mushrooms that help your body respond to stress, anxiety, fatigue, and overall well-being.
Like psilocybin.
Like literally any fucking drug. You could take adaptogens by adding them to food or beverages to take them as tinctures. Okay, we better be careful here.
That's what. Did you say tincture?
Tinctures, as in like glass vials. Tinctures, like THC fluid. It comes in like pure THC comes in tinctures for like oils and stuff to like put on your skin.
I thought you said tincture, which is in like TAINT.
Yeah, tinctures.
Huh?
Yeah, no tinctures. Huh. Okay, I'm a little nasally right now. All right. Adaptogens bring your body back to a steady balance of managing both physical and mental stressors. I'll be honest, sounds like a little bit of a heebie-jeebie woo-boo-woo-boo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I believe in it. But I do see a lot of this stuff ground up into powder being offered in like, have you heard of that stuff called mud or mud water?
Yep.
They talk about their coffee from fungus having adaptogens in it. Ginseng is apparently a big adaptogen, which is like, I guess that makes sense. Like ginseng is like a very common ingredient in food for like healthy colon, stuff like that. Anti-heartburn, even though it's kind of got like a little bit of a spice to it almost. But all that said, that's what adaptogens are. Just want to get back to you with that. And All right. More thoughts on Flying Embers. I mean, we got their funny reviews. Any other, like, did they even have an interesting origin story other than just like,
well, that's the thing.
They were near fire once.
Right. I'm trying to figure out the what they were before that, but I think they might have been in the R&D stage of making this kombucha, and then this fire happened. From the owner, like, you can go on their website, like, watch a video. He talks about it. Seems genuine. But, you know, I do appreciate that they give this stuff back to first responders, specifically looking at firefighters and into mental health stuff with our first responders there. So I like that. But as far as just the merit of the stuff in this can goes, we might have to run this one back with a different flavor. Down the line.
Dude, I'm reviewing just this flavor.
All right.
We're reviewing the brewery as a whole.
That's true.
If we reviewed the brewery as a whole, New Belgium is looking 1 for 1 right now.
Right, but what I mean is, for this, eventually we're going to run out of hard kombuchas, right? Like, how many are there out there?
No, we're not going to run out, bro. Have you been to some of these big liquor stores in town?
No.
They got aisles of them.
All right. I guess they're doing fine on the kombucha front. This one, if you like orange flavored Monster, I say get it.
Yeah, this is going to be like, I'll be honest. It's got the good flavor of vitamin C stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It does taste like orange juice. They're going for the mimosa flavor.
Yeah.
It tastes more like orange juice mimosa than it tastes like citrus beer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, what the fuck is up with all these kombucha companies just always aiming for a cocktail?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if like is
that the thing?
Have we read anything anywhere that says kombucha has to be like hard kombucha has to be cocktail based?
I feel like if they would just steered it towards a beer flavor, they already are like almost there. You could. I feel like they could really make some.
It might
really
be more
good,
successful.
Some really the gluten-free people out there.
It tastes like beer. It's gluten free.
Yeah,
and it's good for your colon
with no carbs.
Yeah. I guess maybe I'm just getting a little sick of the gimmick of like, this is a cocktail in a can, but it's kombucha.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, so far only one of these has been like knock my socks off so good.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it was the first one.
It was.
So it set the bar.
Set the bar so high.
That might be part of the problem.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. We've had bad beers and all that stuff, but I kind of expect beer to be across a spectrum. But like when beer is like, yeah, this is a whiskey beer. This is the tequila beer, sour beer, brewed in wine barrels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, you better be good for claiming to be mixed with something else.
Yep.
And like for this, I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with the gimmick. Yeah. All that said, I'm not going to give it any thumbs up, man. I'm
on 0.
I think it's good. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I totally will not blame anyone who's like, dude, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it tastes like vitamin C pills.
Mm-hmm.
And if I said, no, man, think about it. Let's pour it over ice.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that taste
do you
like a mimosa?
Do you like Emergency? Or you like drink it because you have to choke it down?
Yeah, I'm one of those guys, like, it doesn't make me gag and I have to plug my nose. But I'm one of those guys who like toss it like into a drink and I open up my windpipe and like inhale it.
Yep. Because I've got some buddies, one in particular, who just like likes it. He just likes Emergency straight up. Like he wants to add it to his water because it's good. So I'm wondering if there's a group of people out there. This might be your jam.
Sure, yeah, but I can't. I can't. Like, if someone was like, "Hey, man, I'm looking to try hard kombucha. Should I get this like orange passion mimosa from Flying Embers?" This is my first step into it. I'd be like, "No, dude, that most of it don't taste like that."
One of our listeners, I was talking with them, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm never gonna get any sponsors the way you guys are reviewing drinks on here." I'm like, "Well, we just gotta give the honest opinion." We just got to tell them how it is. So.
I think here's the thing is that we'll get sponsors because people will hear us be like, this beer's fucking good. And then everyone will buy it because those people know like, hey, if these guys are saying this beer is good, they mean it.
And granted, we are with these kombuchas, we're doing like a drink from there. So like if you picked any brewery in town and we just grab something off the wall, we might hate it. So, but for this beer in particular, I'm going 0. Because,
all right, so
like,
0 thumbs.
0 thumbs because like from the flavor aspect, like if I'm going to put this in my body, I feel like I want it to at least be doing something good for me. Like hydrating me and keeping the flu away.
It is doing something good for you, bro. It's got adaptogens in it.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like drink 6 of these and you'll feel the adaptogens.
Dude, WebMD says they get rid of stress.
Yeah, just so does 6 of these.
Anything with 7% alcohol. Okay, all right. So 0 thumbs up. This is not a negative review of this beer. Hey,
of the brewery.
Flying, yeah. Well, it's not a negative review of the brewery, and it's not a negative review of the beer.
Yeah.
0 thumbs up means you're average. You're passing, man. You'll make it to high school. Don't worry. You won't be stuck in middle school forever.
You can get up to 4 thumbs down, as a reminder.
You can get up to 4 thumbs down, I guess.
Or down to what?
You can get down to 4 thumbs down, yeah.
Which we haven't 4 thumbs down anything yet. Someday.
Yeah, I was actually really still upset about the fact that you didn't give the holiday ale from New Belgium any thumbs down.
Hey.
But you gave the Christmas ale from Breckenridge Brewery a thumbs down. Smoke break.
Smoke break.
Hey, Ken, it's Mick, and I've got something important to talk about. We all hope we never find ourselves in a self-defense situation, but life's unpredictable. Enter the National Self-Protection Plan from Attorneys on Retainer, an actual credible law firm you can put on retainer for your self-defense needs. For just $35 a month, you get national coverage in all 50 states for criminal and civil legal representation in self-defense situations, complete with a 24/7, 365 toll-free emergency line. That's real legal support when you need it most. What's in the package? Bail bonds, scene cleanup, firearm replacement, even mental health counseling. Plus, 0 fees for a laundry list of defense-related costs like expert witnesses. So support the show and get yourself some peace of mind. Click the link in our show notes or visit our sponsors page to sign up for the National Self-Protection Plan from Attorneys on Retainer.
Hey folks, Pat here. If you're like Mick and I, you're a fan of classic tales like Lonesome Dove, Blood Meridian, The Three-Body Problem, and Steinbeck's East of Eden. With Audible, you can dive into these epic stories anytime, anywhere. Sign up for a free month, and your first audiobook is on the house. To start your free trial and support our show, click the link in the show notes or swing by the sponsors page on our website.
Want an awesome website for your podcast? Check out Podpage. We use it for the Mick Pat show, and it's a game changer. Set it up in minutes, no coding needed. Support the show by using our link to get started. Your podcast deserves a home as great as ours. Podpage, the one-stop solution.
I thought their marketing was smart and they probably sold a lot of it.
Everyone else who's just listening to this to know what beer to drink fucking hates you.
Hey.
Like they're like, but damn it, he said the marketing was good, but Mick was right. This beer's fucking shit.
I said it on there. I said, listen, if you're going to a Christmas party, take it with you. Otherwise, leave it at home.
Yeah.
But for this one, we've got 0 thumbs on it. Flying Embers. I'll probably try some of the other stuff to see what it's like. I do like their logo. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Cool looking. But episode 4 of The Last of Us.
Hell yeah. I'll tell you this. I think committing to do a review of each episode of this was one of the best things we decided to do, simply because I just like talking to you about this show. And we don't have to, there's so much I've already felt like I've had to say on just the first 3 episodes. No way we could have had a decent like summary brews and reviews of the whole season. You know what I mean? It would have been so long.
Like a 4-hour review.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, you know, some people do that, but like not us. All that said, episode 4, we're post the tragedy of Bill and Frank. Bill and Frank are dead. They lived through the apocalypse. They died in each other's arms. And so they got to enjoy old age.
Leading up to now, episode 1, Joel's daughter
Dies.
bites the dust. Episode 2,
2003, dead.
Episode 2,
Tess.
bites the dust. Episode 3,
Bill and Frank.
Bill and Frank's Excellent Adventure. Bites
It
the
was an
dust.
excellent adventure, though.
Yeah. And they bit the dust. Into number 4.
No dust biting.
No dust biting. They were taking some time to develop.
Yeah, I think because there's just no one else.
Besides the Raiders, the one who got killed with a knife.
Well,
Or not Raider, the ambusher.
Well, yeah. The new bosses in town. You know, the bandits or whatever. But I think he killed like 3 of them. I think 3 of them died this episode. Yeah.
Yep.
But anyways, all that it said, Joel and Ellie, they're on the road again, and they're bonding more. I really don't know if we could talk about this episode much without getting into like the spoilers, because honestly, this episode is probably the least I don't know how else to phrase this. It's just a simple, like linear point A to point B. It's with like a very limited subplot. So there's not really like a way of discussing it without like actually getting into spoiler territory. But even the spoilers aren't like revealing much.
Yeah, I call these episodes like the mid-season slump or like the mid-season move along.
Yeah. It's almost filler, but I know it's technically not filler because they're introducing us to 2 important characters from the games. However, I don't know if they needed this episode necessarily to introduce them. This episode just allows us to have a villain, like a villain that we can put a name and face to.
Right, because one thing they haven't done necessarily in this is like developed a point person of a villain.
Bro, you just fucking wait, dog.
Well, I'm planning on somebody, but so far, you have Fedra generally as a bad guy.
Yeah, that's just,
like general, but they're
big
like
government.
Yeah, but they're not even like a main thing. They're just like a nuisance. You have the fungus and the clickers, and they're also like a nuisance, but like we don't have the guy yet or whatever, or that thing yet that we can put a thing to. So I feel like this episode, they kind of gave us a sub bad guy, kind of a mid-level boss.
Yeah.
Pass along the way.
And here's the thing. I think they'll stick to the games and not try to make, I think they're going to just reveal enough about this group of survivors in Kansas City, and just reveal enough about them for us to like at least relate to their motives. Because like you can't really just relate to bandits ambushing them.
Right. Those are just bad guys.
Yeah, if they're just trying to get their way through Kansas City and it takes them a couple of days of just fighting bandits, and the bandits drop one-liners about the boss or whatever, like you're just like, okay, like these guys are bad guys and they're desperate for food, supplies, whatever. Who cares, right? But they're dropping enough of a storyline now that like we can see there is pressure on this new leader of these survivors. It used to be a QZ like Boston, but clearly something happened and enough people rose up, overtook the QZ, got rid of Fedra. Now there's a bunch of civilians decked out in Fedra gear, and bro, it's Tale of Two Cities, man.
Right. And it may be like worse than when Fedra was in charge.
That's why I say it's Tale of Two Cities. Did you ever read that book?
I got a third of the way through it.
Yeah. I mean, I never read it all the way through, but I read probably about every other page up until about halfway through, and then I spark notes.
I want a middle schooler version of it. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't get it. Like the way it's written too high level for my brain. Especially if it's my nighttime bedstand book. I'm like trying to understand what's going on, and I'm like,
my man's across from me here can have a very complex theological conversation about the predestination predestination and if it's real or not. And then it's like Tale of Two Cities are a little too complex for me.
Yeah. Well, like one time for my night reading book for a while was the Iliad.
You got to get the modern translation of that.
I know, but dude, I was like, I don't get it. I gave it like a good college try for a few months and was just
but
like,
you were reading like probably like an old translation, right?
well, I mean, it's
Greek to direct English.
Yeah, Greek to direct English, where you're just like trying to figure it out.
Bro, just watch the Iliad before bed.
Well, I know that I was trying to, strengthen my brain.
Oh,
but anyways,
yeah, Tale of Two Cities, where essentially oppressive regime existed here, probably just like it existed in a lot of the QZs, and the citizen survivors rightfully rose up to overthrow this for better conditions, but now they're worse. Now they're worse than the thing they overthrew, and it's out of desperation and stress. And none of this is in the game. Like there is no, gosh, I can't remember her name. Just gonna go back to the IMDb page real quick because she is a very famous actress, and I should. Melanie Linsky.
What do I recognize her from?
So Melanie Linsky, if you're a fan of Chuck Lorre, who wrote 2.5 Men, two girls in a restaurant or whatever that one was. It's like the girls who run the cupcake place. Big Bang Theory. Chuck Lorre has cast Melanie Linsky in a lot of stuff. She was like the crazy girlfriend of Charlie Sheen, pushed him off a train track and killed him. That's how they wrote Charlie Sheen out of the show. She's in quite a few things. She's a very capable actress. I saw her in something with Elijah Wood, which was like a very weird indie film where she's just like a everyday suburbia shut-in, and she just snaps because someone was mean, and it was like a trail of dominoes falling that just led her into like this house of a crime lord, where she's just honestly like, I'm sick of people being mean and bullying people. And this crime lord's like, who the fuck are you? Who sent you? And her and Elijah Wood are just like two everyday people who just got pushed too far. But she's very talented. She has a really strong range. And I think that she's going to be wasted here. I'm going to say it right now. Like, I just don't think they're going to commit to letting her be violent enough for the juxtaposition of her voice and demeanor to be really off-putting.
Because she's supposed to be like, generally she's like mousy.
She's very mousy in a lot of stuff.
But like, or I'd say like even a lot of her stuff, she like appears mousy, but isn't.
Psychotic. Like, yeah, like 2.5 Men, she was absolutely psychotic.
Yeah.
And it's why her character was like scary and funny. She was good in Don't Look Up. I thought she was funny in that as like the everyday housewife. But in, I gotta go back further to find this Elijah Wood movie. I don't feel at home in this world anymore. So she plays this mousy voiced character, Ruth. And she's so frightening and like serious because you realize when she snaps, she's totally, absolutely mentally capable of killing anyone. And she doesn't become like a villain serial killer, but she becomes an anti-hero where she's just like sick of people being assholes and like abusing power and whatever. And she kind of goes at him. And Elijah Wood is just like her weird shut-in neighbor who's clearly like a little too, he gives off like didn't do a school shooting by the grace of God, but now is like 30.
Right.
He gives off those vibes of like what happens to
antisocial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, but like he falls in love with her and is like, just thinks like the fact that she's doing this is amazing. And the reason she was so like frightening almost and like she controlled the screen in that like indie film was because she just kept her voice and she just had this kind of like shoulder slumped exhaustive demeanor but such that soft, mousy voice. But you knew, you're like, I've already seen this person crack. And that's what I want them to do here. But I think
they haven't shown her at that level yet.
Like they allude to like her brother died, but we don't know if her brother was even that good of a guy.
Right. Like, and she's willing to like burn down everything to go find whoever may have, or like based on just circumstantial evidence, may have been involved with her brother's killing. Like, you know, because it ends up where she's accusing Joel and Ellie of, you know, oh, these people had to have been hitmen sent by Henry, you know.
Yeah, Henry radioed him in or something.
You know, and it's like, you have no idea if they did or didn't. And then she just sicks the whole city on them.
News to me that there's hitmen or mercenaries in The Last of Us, because that's not in the video game. Like mercenary groups for hire, there's just bandits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really hoping, like, here's the thing, dude. Off-screen shooting someone is just has no effect anymore. Like, unless it's done very powerfully.
Like to a main character, or like
literally someone pleading for their life that you know is 100% innocent. Like, you follow their story, you realize they're a good person, and like if they're shot off screen, it's like a gruesome mercy to you as the audience.
Or in this case, if she didn't kill the doctor and she shot somebody in a different cell, who comes, like, their story comes in later. So we think the doctor's dead. He's key to it. We thought that she killed him. Like,
stuff might happen. We didn't see her kill the doctor.
That's because I was gonna say that's the one rule in all TV is if you don't see him die, you don't know, they might not be dead for real.
The one thing though I wish that they would just have done, because it's The Last of Us. People are animalistic,
right?
I wish she would have just fucking snapped, and we would have seen her just like
express
her lips curl back. And like she bites her tongue to the point it bleeds out of anger and frustration. Like we don't even know why she really gives a about these dudes who got murked by Joel.
Because they that's one thing I think
it's like brushed over so quickly,
because we don't know, like, these guys were just like robbers in the street. If they were a part of this main,
they ambushed Joel.
If they're part of this main faction, like,
why didn't they just be like, hey, stop, man?
Yeah,
can we talk about like why you're driving through the city?
Yeah, they just bushwhacked him.
Yeah.
And in the show, so the way this thing kicks off, at first I was so sad that they wrecked the truck, just like it seemingly right out the gate. I was like, God, that did not last long. In the show, it lasts about 20 minutes.
It's the same thing in the video game.
But in they did travel 1,300 miles.
Yeah.
So they covered like more than half of where they're trying to get to in Wyoming. They just skipped the part like of that big long drive. And so
I think if I remember right, in the video game, it's Philadelphia. And they get to Philadelphia before they get ambushed and the truck crashes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dang. But is Tommy in Wyoming in the game?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Did they take a freaking bush plane over there? Which, by the way, in apocalyptic world, small Cessnas, I think, would be the way to go.
Bro, no. Easy targets to shoot down. But Cessnas travel like at like 70 to 110 miles an hour.
You can get pretty high though.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, like, yeah, like if
so do bullets.
This is true.
Cessnas don't even blow up when they crash. You can still go salvage whatever was in them.
Yeah. So you could get shot in a Cessna and still land it. Just coast it on down.
That's true.
But so anyways, the one gripe, which we kind of talked about in the last episode, they were in Bill's freaking Golden Connex box and they didn't take jack crap with them. So they took
coffee.
They took coffee,
sleeping bags,
and some Chef Boyardee. And they had all the weapons they could ever want. And he takes a hunting rifle.
God, dude.
Doesn't upgrade a pistol. Luckily, Ellie grabs a gun.
Yeah, Frank's.
Sneaks that thing. But like that sort of stuff always bums me out. So it's like in movies, if weapons are offered or like available, like just don't make them available if they're not there. Because if they make them available, like literally, here's what I know: the most un-gun person, whatever, the person who's like anti-gun, whatever, finds himself in a post-apocalyptic world, if they see the scary black death rifle,
they're gonna grab it.
Up, dude. Yeah. And they know how to use it because they watch TV. At least enough to charge.
I think they know how to use it.
You can charge a handle and shoot.
Well, no. It's surprising how many people think that the forward assist
is the loader.
Is like chambers of round in an AR-15.
Mm-hmm. This is true, but still, generally speaking, everybody would grab that. So it's just frustrating. Like, just don't make it an option.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
or just like let it be a moment of like good writing. Just let it be like, okay, I'm a writer on a show. I'm not a gun guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to write this character as not a gun guy because I'm looking at this picture of what this scene is, what like it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I would have know what the fuck goes to what. I would have know how to load a gun.
Or like show the AR broken down and the character like confused at
trying to put it together. And they're just like, oh,
and then
this.
Right. Because then he uses his little hunting rifle, but then 10 minutes later, he's just back down to his pistol. Yeah. Whatever.
Here's the thing too, though. If I showed you some of the fight scenes from the game, you would have been pretty disappointed with the shootout in this.
Well, and that's the only excuse they have is if they're trying to make it accurate to the game.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I remember very viscerally. This was a little bit of of what I did play of the game. I played probably about 3 hours of the game in total, alternating with a friend in college. And I remember this part very distinctly because it's a cutscene. You get ambushed, car crashes, and then I was like running through Philadelphia, and you're essentially just going room to room in these massive skyscrapers and office buildings and stuff like that. And the fight scenes were like for like a video game at the time, very visceral, very crunchy.
Yeah,
and like as a player, you were just like, "Ooh, fuck, I don't know if I feel good about that." Because like there's a point I remember like Ellie's character in the video game is essentially just scripted to help you out with stuff. So like she'll be like running around and hiding, and you don't ever have to really worry about them catching her. She's a small 12-year-old girl running around the corner of cabinets and stuff and using a knife or whatever, or throwing things to distract people. But dude, I just remember like in what this episode's based off of, you have like 3 bullets in your rifle. There's like 5 guys in a room that you have to get through. And you're just like, I'm like, in the video game, you also just fucking suck at shooting. Like Joel's just not good at shooting guns. Like he's just not. Like you'll have your little white single pixel cursor over someone's head and pull the trigger, and the bullet will like wing off like 3 inches to the left. Man. And you're just like, fucking Joel. But you realize you're like, I gotta go quiet with this. And there's shit littered around the game that you can literally pick up and just bash people's head in for like 2 or 3 hits before it's like useless. I remember one, Ellie like runs up and stabbed this guy in the knee or something. So he turns around and I just ran up and I grabbed a cinder block, and essentially you kick his knee out. And if like everything is in the right spot, you just like smash the cinder block through like his upper jaw and just flatten his head. And it looks really cool because like I remember when I did it, it looked like I smashed it against the countertop, and then just like his lower chin slid down against the edge of the countertop.
Oh, that's brutal.
And he was done. And I was like, that was more engaging. I'm not going to say more fun because that makes me sound like a psycho, but that was more engaging than just like popping over corner shooting, popping over corner shooting, moving to get ammo. And I wanted that. That's what I thought was going to happen, was like car crashes, rifles out of reach or something like that. And literally we were just going to see Joel grabbing shit and smashing people with it.
Oh, you thought that they would incorporate that into the show?
Yeah, like more of, because it was so static. Like this shootout was so very static. I thought like the wrestling with the shotgun was kind of cool, and the tension of that moment with like Ellie coming out and stab or shooting him. But dude, like the frenetic combat of the game was unlike anything else at the time, and I thought they could have really translated that to camera well. And I just feel like maybe they will next episode, right?
Right. And when Ellie shot that guy, I thought it was gonna shoot Joel too.
Yeah, I was nervous about it.
I thought they had incorporated like she'd wing him a little, like graze his side. But the
jelly legs was a good bit though. That to me felt like someone who knows about gun injuries. Because I can't tell you how many firefight camera footage stuff I've seen where bad guy has gun, bad guy gets shot, and his legs just fold over, and he's like looking at his legs like, what the f is going on with my legs? Why can't I move my legs?
Yeah.
Like, and he's not dead yet. He's clearly like, he's reaching for his gun or crawling and trying to get away.
Yeah.
Totally confused why his legs aren't working. And I was like, when they did that, I was like, someone has seen those videos of Brazilian robbers getting rocked.
Yep. Brazilian robber on a Vespa. Those poor guys. Someone needs to show those guys.
Poor Brazilian robbers.
Okay, somebody needs to show those guys those videos. Okay, it's like listen, before you choose this career path,
those guys aren't allowed to have internet because then the boss wouldn't have anyone to send out to like rob people of their like 100 huevos.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. 100 eggs.
I couldn't remember that was the first word that came to mind because I could not remember the term for Brazilian currency.
This episode I felt like was basically a way to move them way closer to the end goal of getting to Wyoming at this point and finding Tommy. They did do the other main thing they did during this episode was develop the relationship between Ellie and Joel and like
a lot
and bring out the father figure in Joel more and more, all the way up till by the end of this episode. I'm excited for who tiny pajama Superman kid is.
That's Sam, bro.
Sam, huh?
You're excited?
He's not Henry.
Henry's the older brother. Hence why, what's her name? I already forgot. Kathleen said Henry won't let Sam starve.
Oh, all right. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, I it's sad to say, but this is the weakest episode for sure so far. Like in my opinion, like it's not for all sakes of the matter, it's better than the best stuff I saw in The Walking Dead. And I know that it's like probably sacrilegious to some people out there, but dude, The Walking Dead, as much as I love that show from like season 1 through 4, once you look back at it, you realize it was just the same thing every single time. And like, it just never really was actually that exciting. The action sets really weren't that good. The choreography wasn't that great. And even this episode with like pretty low stakes choreography was still great. Personally, my favorite part was that they included the book that like, there's two things they included from the video game that I really loved. And I was hoping they would. Because I remember laughing my ass off with my wife watching the playthrough of the video game during COVID. First one was post Bill's house. Ellie pulls out this gay porn magazine in the video game, and it's like a really big alluding, like, wait, so Bill and Frank were gay then, because that is a gay porn mag,
right?
And again, it was like word for word from the show. Like, why are these pages all stuck together?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just fucking with you, man. Don't take it so seriously, dude. You should have seen your face. Because like Joel's again, like speechless, like, how do I even begin to explain this to a child who has no idea of sex ed or whatever, right? But then the other one was the joke book. The joke book, like its title, the jokes referenced in this episode, straight out of the video game. And it's funny because like as someone who like watched the video game and stuff and like enjoyed it and has like watched friends play it, I remembered all the punchlines to the jokes.
Oh yeah.
And it was really cool to be kind of like in on it.
You're in on the
yeah. So I think those were like two of my favorite things they've done, just because it was very like, well translated to the screen. It didn't feel like like phony or like fan service. It felt like they knew where to place it and how much time to give it, and not have it be like, oh, and this is here too.
Like forced it in. Yeah.
One thing though that I'm looking forward to that I found out while doing the background research, because I saw the previews for next week. I think Sam is deaf and Henry is not. They're brothers in the game. I'm pretty sure they're brothers in real life too. But I think that will be a interesting dichotomy of like Henry and Sam being deaf and like the way that, because it was, I don't know if that's going to be a good move or not.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the video game, you really begin caring about Sam because Sam is a child.
He's just a kid.
He's a child that is also having to do tough shit like Ellie, but he's more childlike than Ellie. And he brings out the more child in Ellie. And you start seeing Ellie less of like this young girl who's trying to act like an adult to maybe like because she admires Joel.
Yeah.
But you see her like just totally forget about being an adult and all she wants to do is be a kid with Sam. And then you see Henry and Joel bond over being like guardians. And like there's like it's probably honestly in the video game probably the most emotional and sincere part of the game. Is like seeing both of these relationships paralleling one another. And with Sam being deaf, I don't think him and Ellie are going to be able to be kids like that in the apocalypse. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they'll be able to have that dialogue. I think Henry and Joel will get to talk, but I don't think we'll get to see like the cool stuff between Sam and Ellie as much, which I'm kind of going to be bummed about.
Yeah. For this episode, I think if I had to rate it, I'm for the series bar, I'm a 0 thumb.
Yeah, like it's not necessary.
But that being said, after an episode like episode 3, for the flow of a series, you need a cool down episode.
Yeah,
you need it. Like you need to that episode was super intense, super emotional. And then, give it a chance they do some character development. They do some plot development. It kept you engaged the whole time, and they didn't do it. It wasn't long. It was only 45 minutes instead of 80 minutes. And so, it's like, it's a 0 to 1 thumb for me. And I understand its function in the larger story.
Bro, we gotta stick firm to we can't have half thumbs.
Yeah. No,
0, it's 0 or 1.
I'm giving it a 0.
Okay.
If we're going through the whole series,
Yeah. Here's my thing. I almost in this world, the one thing that I think would make this episode become a 1 is if they switched Melanie Lynskey and Anna Torv's actresses' roles.
Oh, yeah.
If Tess was the leader of this group and Lynskey was Tess.
Right, because she just wasn't as scary. Like, she seems just more like an unhinged nut than actually like a capable like person that strikes fear.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? If I was in that world where this was the situation, I'd been like, what the were they thinking? Anna Torv should have been cast as Tess. You know what I mean? Like, I would probably be thinking the opposite. All that said, I'm really rating this one on, as of right now, do I think you need to watch it to understand, like to be able to track the whole story? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say like you can miss it, watch next week's episode. I don't even know what it is yet, but I'm imagining you could watch next week's episode with a 1-minute recap and understand like, oh, truck crash. They killed a couple people. Oh, the group of those people are mad. Oh, the group of those people think Joel and Ellie are working with the black kid and his little brother. Oh, okay. Well, they are now, I guess that's convenient.
And Joel got closer to Ellie.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
It.
Oh, and something is breathing underneath the ground.
I was
some clickers coming out.
Yeah, because we've had 2 episodes basically without any infected.
Yeah,
like, and so
that's also a lot of the game too, though.
Yeah,
it's weird because like the game really marketed itself as like zombie game 2013,
and there's a lot of less of that.
And then like it's probably maybe 45% of the time you're dealing with the threat of clickers, the threat of zombies.
Because my question to you is going to be like, when that floor like heaved like that, from someone who's played the game, do you know like what that is? Was it like, oh, that's that thing, or oh, because it's like it's not just like one clicker under there, kind of like pushing up the whole ground,
Yeah.
or is it like the whole city's going to collapse because this has happened before?
No, so I think it's not in the game, but if I was to bet, it's fungus growing through like the sewer or subway, right? And that fungus literally can feel where people are, and so it's just making it an entrance to work its way through,
just coming in.
Yeah. One thing that I really don't think will be in the show, but I loved from the video game, was this one clicker called the fucking Rat King.
Oh my God.
And I don't even know how he gets named the Rat King. I think it's just scrawled on the wall somewhere, where there's a note about it of like, you got to watch out for the Rat King. The Rat King is literally just like 5 to 10 human bodies that were amalgamated by the fungus into like this big old motherfucker.
Ugh.
Yeah. And it's like, it's pretty gross looking, but he's just like really beefy, strong dude chasing you everywhere. I can't even remember what part of the game he's in, but I was hoping he'd be here. Like, because it would be,
that might be the Rat King beneath the ground.
Yeah, but it would suck if he's only in it for one episode, because like the Rat King really is the big bad of the fungus. Like he's one of those things like you can't just kill in the video game. Like he pursues you, and like for a whole level, you're just terrified because you realize you're like, I can kill normal clickers, but if I make too much noise, Rat King's gonna show up. Rat King's just gonna murk me, dude, because I can't kill him. He's too strong. And eventually, I can't even remember how they kill him in the video game. But it was like this ever-present threat following you everywhere in this one region. So I was hoping they'd kind of bring that in here to make it a little bit more high stakesy. But all that said, yeah, I'm giving this episode 0 thumbs. It's good. It's good TV. Not the best TV. Not what I would expect for the series. Enough stuff happens that I'm not disappointed, of course. But again, if I'm thinking about would I recommend it to someone else to cut out this time that they have to watch it, I'd say no, it's all right if you miss it. You know? Yeah. So all that said, man, another one down. I'm looking forward to next week's. Overall, how you still feeling about the series?
Good show. Good show. I'm looking forward to the rest of it and seeing where it goes. I am like, I've had a couple series that have come out that like came out strong. I really liked them. And then they just do like a slow descent. And we haven't like passed the point where that doesn't happen yet. So I'm a little cautious of like, don't start sucking.
Yeah.
But because it could, but at the same time, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Last thing here, I've kind of mentioned all the other trivia points, but one thing I really do want to shout out just because I don't know, I feel obligated to. Perry, who's like the lead old man henchman, like handsome gray-haired model.
Yeah.
He's the henchman for Kathleen. He's played by Jeffrey Pierce, who is the voice actor of Tommy, Joel's brother, in the video game.
Wow.
And that's our first look at really a voice actor being cast in the show, other than the one for what's her name? I can't remember. The black lady who gives Ellie to Joel.
Oh, yep.
Same,
the leader of the Firefly.
Yeah, she's the same actress from the video games who plays herself in the show, but everyone else has been recast. So like, it was really cool to see that. I'm really looking forward to the voice actors of Joel and Ellie. I think they're going to be like possibly the big bads. Like the real, like when you see them and you realize what they are and like just what they're capable of, you're going to be like, holy fuck, like this is dark as shit.
Guys.
These are the bad guys of season 1, and they'll probably only be there for like one episode,
right? Because
it's such a short thing in the game. But all that said, I'm really looking forward to it. I was happy they did it. I think it's super cool they do that because that's my biggest beef with the Halo show. They didn't get the original voice actor of Master Chief to voice his lines when he's wearing the helmet. I get it. When he's not wearing the helmet, you want it to be a recognized Hollywood celebrity. And then like Cortana has like almost no lines in the whole show. Like, and she just gets like shitty lines, and I was just like, dude, they're just doing the fans wrong.
Yep.
And
This show's doing it for the fans.
they're doing it right. All that said, appreciate you all listening, Ken. We hope that you're getting as much enjoyment out of the show as well as enjoying this dip into hard kombucha. I'll tell you what, man. Well, you know what, Pat? What would you say to those of our kin who are maybe still holding out? Maybe they're just drinking Bud Light or Fat Tire, you know, while we're drinking this kombucha. What would you say to them to really try to get them to join us in this?
I'd say this. Love your gut. You need some self-love in your life. Get some of this hard kombucha. Get those adaptogens, non-GMO, vegan, keto, live cultures.
Hell yeah.
So far, I like them. Do I like them better than beer? We'll have to find out, you know? I don't know.
It's starting to get to the point where there's a couple of these I would pick over the majority of beer I've had in my life.
Wow.
Like, I would never pick them over my favorite beer.
Right.
Like, my top 10 beer, I'd pick over these any days. But
they're not bad.
They're not bad.
But that's
the good ones ain't bad.
Yep. The good ones aren't bad. Besides, we just spent so much time ragging on the other ones. But the good ones are good. What can we say? So, hope you guys are enjoying this series. We're going to keep on going through episode by episode of The Last of Us. You have time to catch up. Go binge watch a couple episodes, and then you can join in for our reviews. You can let us know what you think of the show. Try some of these drinks. Let us know what you think of those. If there's a drink or a show out there that you'd want to hear us review, send it over to us, and we'll be back next week. So we hope you guys have a good week. Until next time.
Until next time.
Thanks for tuning in. If you love this episode, drop us a review. If you have qualms or comments, leave us a voicemail on our website. While you're there, check out our latest news, merch, and deals from our sponsors. Till next time, Ken.